ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। थर्ड श्लोक। अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच लोकेऽस्मिन् विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ। ज्ञानयोगेन सांख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनां न कर्मणामनारम्भात् नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते न च सन्न्यसनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति। Bhagavad Gita has got 18 chapters. The first chapter is giving the background for the teaching. The second chapter is giving the teaching, complete teaching, where the means for moksha, the direct means for moksha in the form of jnanam is presented. And for getting jnanam, one requires fitness, preparedness, and for preparedness also the means in the form of karma yoga is talked about. So the entire teaching of Vedas is given in this second chapter. And the message given is, by the sadhana of karma yoga, you prepare yourself. Jnana yogyata, karma yogena jnana yogyata prapti. And by jnana yoga, you get jnanam. And by jnanam, you become free. This is the message of the second chapter. Please open that.
Somebody wants to come. It's locked.
Yeah. This time okay, but please don't do this next time. Huh? Yes. Once it is closed, is closed. Huh? Okay. All right. So Bhagavan gave the teaching, and Arjuna had a question. The question is that Bhagavan, you are glorifying this knowledge by saying that Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati Panditaha Na Anushocanti. Wise people do not grieve, wise people are free. So you are glorifying wisdom. But to me, you are asking to do karma. I am interested in moksha, and in terms of moksha, you are glorifying knowledge, but to me, you are asking to do karma. Why this discrepancy? I am not able to understand. So please clarify. And Bhagavan started giving the Upadesha, and Bhagavan doesn't want to give advice to Arjuna. He wants to give teaching to Arjuna. And we saw the difference between advice and teaching. Most of the people, they give advice only. And in fact, most of the people like advice. They need advice only. They don't need teaching. Or they don't have the value for teaching many times. But a good guide, a guide who is interested in giving long-term solution, he will say that instead of just getting instruction, may you understand the whole topic thoroughly. It is something like, this when you go to the doctor, he will prescribe medicine. When you are going as a patient, he will prescribe medicine. He will not teach you medical science. But when a medical student is going to the to the doctor, who is also a professor, then doctor will explain why this paracetamol or why this antibiotics. He will explain. So that is the difference. One is like preaching, other is teaching. And most of the time, people they preach, they don't teach. Even Pujya Swamiji used to say for even values that we don't require the preaching values. Speak the truth, be honest, be calm, be loving, be giving. That is very common instructions you hear. In fact, it will be there in the in the ashram. There will be signboards. That boards will be kept. Be kind to all, be generous, or whatever. Pujya Swamiji did not like this. You will not see any such board that be happy, be kind, be generous. He said we don't require instructions. We don't require preaching. We require teaching. What is the difference between the preaching values and teaching values? Preaching values means instruct the values, convey the values, be honest, be truthful. This is called preaching. Teaching values means, Pujya Swamiji used to say, a value is a value when the value of a value is valued by you. So many times value comes. A value is a value when the value of a value is valued by you. Means what? Value means a quality which needs to be nourished. That is called value. And a value is a value in your life. You can say honesty is a value I follow. People ask you sometimes, what are your values? So if you say honesty is a value I follow, most of the people say that they are very honest. That's a very good thing about that. So honesty is a value. What does it mean? Honesty is a value for me only when the value of this value honesty is valued by me. Valued by me means what? Understood its significance. Means I am following honesty not because I want to look honest or I want to have a name of being honest. I want to create a brand of being honest. That is not the purpose. In that case, what will happen? Whatever dishonesty can be exposed, I will not do it. But whatever dishonesty I can hide, I will do it. So I will follow only that honesty which is presentable. And other honesty, I will not be careful. Like people keep drawing room very clean. No? Other rooms say they don't allow us to go. So because that's why it's a mess there. So value, any quality can be called a value in your life when you yourself have understood the value of that value. Means it is not that somebody is seeing, therefore I follow value. I follow it whether people are seeing it or not. Even if people say, no, you do it. It is okay, but I will not do it. Why? Because I have value. Even if people say, no, little bit swalpa adjust madi, swalpa adjust pannungo, I will not do it. Why? Because I have understood. It is something like, you are fasting and you have decided to fast. Then you will not eat when people are not seeing. Even if people are not seeing, you will not eat. Why? Because you have decided to fast. If you are fasting to show off, then what will happen? When people are not there, you will eat. Similarly, a value is a value when I have understood. It is not that people will catch me. That is not the consideration. I am convinced of this value. That is called teaching of value, explaining the significance of value by co-presence and co-absence. If I follow values, this will happen. If I violate this value, this will happen. I am convinced and therefore I follow. See, this you can see very well. Earlier days, we used to drink always the tap water. You know that in railway station, we used to just get down and fill up our bottle or whatever we have. We used to do that. Because we did not have value for this pure water or whatever. Now, we have value. So, we may remain thirsty for some time, 1 hour, 2 hours, but we will not take. So, that change has happened because we have understood value. It is not that somebody is seeing and therefore I do it. I have understood. So that is called teaching. What is teaching values? You explain the importance of following values. Convincing the person to follow values. So similarly here, Bhagavan wants to teach about sadhana, teach about the lifestyle with reference to sadhanas. And therefore, Bhagavan is not giving direct answer. Bhagavan is telling that there are two lifestyles. And by talking about the lifestyles, Bhagavan wants to convey that with reference to the sadhana for moksha, there is no option. You require two sadhanas. By karma yoga chitta shuddhi, by gnana yoga gnana prapti. These are unnegotiable. Whatever lifestyle you are following, karma yoga is required for chitta shuddhi, gnana yoga is required for gnanam. In that there is no compromise. In that there is no option. But for following these two sadhanas of karma yoga and gnana yoga, two lifestyles are prescribed. One lifestyle is characterized by activities, are characterized by the predominance of activities. Other lifestyle is characterized by the predominance of the pursuit of knowledge. In both the lifestyle, person has to have both the sadhanas. Karma yoga, person who is leading the life of karma yoga, he also has to come to gnana yoga. It is not that I am following karma yoga, by karma yoga I will get moksha. I am following Dana Yoga, I don't care for Karma Yoga, I will get moksha. That is not going to happen. So these two sadhanas, there is no option. But two lifestyles are there. And as we saw in the last class, we have got three options. A person can take up the life of this Karma Yoga called Grihastha Ashrama, follow this sadhana of Karma Yoga, get Chitta Shuddhi, and there remaining in this Karma Yoga, remaining in Grihastha person can pursue Gnana Yoga predominantly and can get Gnanam, can get Moksha. A person remains in Grihastha forever. That is one option. Second is, he takes up the Grihastha life, follows the lifestyle of Karma Yoga, and he gets Chitta Shuddhi and drops this Grihastha goes to Sannyasa Ashrama, follows Gnana Yoga, gets Gnanam, gets Moksha. That is second option. Third is direct route. He directly from the brahmacharya ashrama itself, he takes sannyasa. But whatever route you take, you have to have the purification of the mind through karma yoga, and you have to have this jnanam through dhyana yoga. In that there is no compromise. Whether you stay in the hostel and study or you stay at home and study, you have to study. In that there is no option. If you have got the conduciveness, you stay in the hostel, good hostel, then you may study little better. More study oriented life is there. If you stay at home, little bit distraction will be there, but it will be safe. And thus, whatever way you stay in hostel or the house, but you have to study. You have to prepare yourself. Similarly, whatever lifestyle you choose, you have to get this purification by karma and jnanam by dhyana yoga. And depending upon your background, you can choose the lifestyle. And Bhagavan here is addressing to the majority of people. Majority of people are not having the fitness for jnanam in the beginning. And therefore, Bhagavan talks about following the lifestyle of karma yoga before going to jnana yoga predominantly. When following the life of karma yoga, you can study shastra, but that will not be your prime focus. So Bhagavan says that for most of the people, karma yoga is required first. There can be some exceptions who have got some that brought forward, the previous life, the credits is there, and therefore this life they don't have to follow the life of karma yoga. But for most of the people, that is not the case. And therefore Bhagavan says, Arjuna, for you and person like you, it is better to go for karma yoga lifestyle than renouncing the karma without getting what is to be gained from karma. And with that idea, Bhagavan started the discussion from the fourth sloka. And from in the fourth, fifth and sixth sloka, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is giving 4 reasons why one needs to follow karma yoga, why karma yoga is better than renouncing karma. And first reason he gave, that karma yoga is the means for attaining jnana yoga. If a person has not followed karma yoga, and he will not have chitta shuddhi. Without chitta shuddhi, jnanam yoga will not be possible. Jnanam will not be possible. And sadhana vina sadhya prapti is not there. Without following the means, upaya, upeya prapti, the end will not be achieved. In life, this is an important thing to remember, that there is no shortcut in life. People generally want to have shortcuts. There is no shortcut. You have to find out the appropriate means. That appropriate means, if happens to be short, then it is good. You need not go for long routes when the short routes are available. But if you try to have the shortcut, then the appropriate means, then it will lead to this, what is called frustration, failure. Why? Because anything what you are trying as a shortcut is not a shortcut. Anything which is the deviation from the appropriate means, which you are thinking to be a shortcut, is not a shortcut. Many times you must have seen this, you have experienced when you are driving and somebody tells it's a shortcut, and in shortcut you take longer time, more time. So in Shastra, in the Shastra, Bhagavan is emphasizing this point, that bypassing the means, you cannot attain the end. And human being has this tendency. He is interested in the end, but not interested in the means. I want the first rank, But for getting the first rank, whatever hard work is required, that I don't want to do. Punyasya phalamichanti, punyam na kurvanti manavaha. So I want the result of punyam, which is success, which is prosperity. But what is required for that success, I don't want to do. And therefore we try for some shortcut. You give me some mantra so that even if I study for 1 hour, I can get first rank. So we always have this tendency. So we don't want to put for the efforts for the means, but we want the result. That is why people are cheated. One reason people are cheated because they don't want to go through the normal route of getting things. See, if I want to earn, then I have to work. But somebody says, no, I will get you this way to earn crores of rupees within 5 days. And you will invest that and you will lose whatever you have also you will lose. Nowadays it is happening very often. On online, people will say you click, only you have to do 30 clicks and you will get under 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees per month. You think very good, the 30 clicks I have to do and I will get this 10,000, 20,000. People get cheated. So in life, there should not be value for getting something free, getting something without efforts. I will do whatever is to be done. Follow the right means. So Bhagavan is saying, Arjuna, if you bypass karma, you will not get the result of karma. So that's what he said, na karmana manarambat naishkarmyam purushosnate. By not doing karma, which is the means for moksha, you cannot attain the result of karma, which is the moksha ultimately. Karma directly does not give moksha, but karma contributes to moksha. And if you don't do karma, you are not getting the contribution which can be given by karma. And therefore what happens? A person remains in the samsara only. Sometimes what happens that we are in hurry to get the end and therefore means we do not pay attention. I remember my own example. Sometimes I had some situation where I had to cook. And so cook means we are hungry, then only we think of cooking. That's how bachelors is like that. And therefore when we start cooking, we want to finish it fast. And therefore with what we do, we put this vessel, pan on the gas, put oil, and then we remember my sabji is to be cut, vegetable is to be cut. So our mind is having so much anxiety for the end that we don't take care of the means. So in life, Bhagavan is teaching that lesson. Arjuna, if you don't do this karma, then you will not get moksha, because karma is an important contributory means for moksha. Even though it is painful. Generally means are painful, end is very pleasant. First rank is very pleasant. Working hard, getting up early morning, and from the blanket is difficult. So that is difficult. But first rank is very, very nice. People that all the cricketers, they get a very good century and all, you applaud and all. But how much work they have done for that? When you are under the blanket, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, they got up and they did practice, exercise, all this they did. That we don't see. See how much he's getting. He's getting that endorsement and all this, so much he's earning. And you did not do it. So Bhagavan says, Arjuna, if you don't follow the means, you will not attain the end. That is the first reason Bhagavan gave. So why you should go for Karma Yoga? Because Karma Yoga is the means, indirect means for attaining Jnanam, Moksha. And without Upaya, the means, you cannot attain the end. Somehow we have got this thinking that somehow I will manage. Others could not manage, but I will manage. It doesn't happen. And so Bhagavan emphasized that point. Second thing is, Arjuna, that mere renunciation of action does not give moksha. Even though renunciation is glorified in Shastra, that sannyasa is great, but mere sannyasa is not the means for moksha. It is not the means for dhanam. It is something like having a good ball pen is not a guarantee for good examination or a good writing. Just because you have a good ball pen, therefore you will write well in your exam, not a guarantee. So people think that this person is getting first rank because he has got a very good ball pen or good pen. And that is not so. That might be contributing. That is not decisive factor. So Bhagavan says, Arjuna, mere sannyasa, not having the pursuit of dhanam, will not attain the moksha. So a person, he takes sannyasa, but does not have preparedness which is received from karma yoga. So chitta shuddhi rahita sannyasa will not get him jnanam or moksha. Our mind generally goes for the superficial things. Oh, he is sitting there and therefore he is getting good marks. So let me sit there. He has got that jersey number 17. That is a good. Therefore, I will try to get it. So we always think of superficial things. So just because some sannyasi got dhanam, therefore we think that by sannyasa alone, this dhanam will be there. Yeah, sannyasa is conducive for dhanam, no doubt. But if you are not prepared, then sannyasa can be harmful. That Bhagavan will talk about. So here Bhagavan highlighted that by mere renunciation of karma, one does not get this Naishkarmya Siddhi, the Jnana Nishtha, which is the means for moksha. Now in the next shloka, Bhagavan is giving one more reason why you should not go for this sannyasa, thinking that sannyasa will give moksha. That thinking is not correct. For that he gives one more reason. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krit karyate hyavashah karma sarvah prakriti jairgunaihi. So Bhagavan says total renunciation of karma is not possible. Means one cannot think that I will renounce all karmas, therefore I will abide in actionlessness, which is the means for moksha. In Shastra it is called Naishkarmyam. Naishkarmyam means actionlessness. So actionlessness is the means for moksha. And how will I attain actionlessness? By renouncing all karma. So one by one I will reduce karma, and then one day I will have zero karma, I will get moksha. Bhagavan says, physically it is not possible to renounce all karma. And even in relative sense, renouncing all karma is not possible for a person who is not ready, who is unprepared. Absolute freedom from action at physical level is not possible. Why? Body, mind, sense complex is designed for doing action. So real freedom from action is not by renouncing the actions physically. Final renunciation of karma is in terms of this jnanam that I, Atma, am actionless. It is not that you renounce all the karmas physically and you become actionless. You cannot become. And moreover, even if you want to take sannyasa, you should be prepared for sannyasa. If you are not prepared for sannyasa, then what will happen? Your mind will be very active. You cannot remain without activities. So some activity or the other you will keep doing. And because of that, what will happen? You will have the destructive activities. The right activities you have renounced, and without activities you cannot remain. Then what will happen? The wrong activities will come. Generally, I give this example that a person, he is thinking that today I will skip my lunch. He is not having that capacity to skip lunch. He is a sapadram. So but still he thinks everybody is telling you are eating so much, so I will show it. I will not eat. Yeah. And then what? He skips lunch. Then 2 o'clock, 2:30. Then he will what? He will open the fridge. And what all junk food is there, that he will eat. If he had taken regular food, calories will be less. He will take rice, he will take salad and all this. So less calorie he would have managed and filled up his stomach. But now he cannot remain. Therefore, what will happen? He will ask for junk food and he will justify. See, today I did not eat. Little bit I am taking. Today I did not eat. So he will keep on eating several times. And that's what happens. So Bhagavan says, a person who is ignorant and a person who does not have sufficient purity of the mind, he cannot remain without activities. And that's what he said. He, because why sanyasanadeva siddhim na gacchati? Because kashit, anyone, kshanamapi, even for a moment, jatu, at any time, akarmakrit, without doing action, na tishtati, does not remain. Any person cannot remain without doing action. Swami Chinmayanji used to say that people when they are even sitting in this lecture hall, that there will be a mat. On the mat they are sitting. The mat will have some thread at the end, so they will take out one thread and slowly. You must have seen that people, while talking in Chopati, the Puja Swami Chinmayan used to give a talk. He said people will be taking some sand and they will be playing with the sand. Cannot remain. Something or the other, even they are calling somebody, that time also you will see there will be a paper. On the paper they will be putting design. While talking on phone also you will see they cannot remain quiet. You are already doing one activity, not enough to keep the mind occupied. How much restlessness is there? So person cannot remain without doing activities. People think that doing action is very difficult. It's not so. Not doing action is sometimes more difficult. Talking is not that difficult. Remaining silent is more difficult. One boy we had in Bangalore who was working in our center, and he used to talk a lot. He was very fond of talking. So I told him, Madan, can you keep Maunam for one day? I gave some incentive also. So he took it as a challenge, how I will do it. So, and he tried and but finally he succeeded with great and the next day he told Swamiji, I got so much tired. So much tired of what? Not talking. Because he was having so much pressure. To handle the pressure was more tiring than talking even. So it is very, very difficult for most of the people to remain without regular activities. And why person cannot remain without activities? Because karyate hyavashah karma sarvah prakriti jair gunaihi. A person karyate is made to act. He is made to act. Avashaha, helplessly. Karma means is made to do action. By what? Prakriti jaihi gunaihi. By the gunas which are born of, which are the constituents of Prakriti, Maya. Maya has got three gunas, Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna. So because of these three gunas, one of the gunas will be making you to do something. If you are having little bit Sattva guna, then what you will do? You will start chanting Shuklam Bradaram Vishnum Shashivardhanam Chaturbhujam. So you cannot remain without that. You will see yourself doing something. Or you will start write Sri Ram, somewhere. Good. But you are forced to do. You cannot remain without doing. Sattva guna is a good thing. But still you see, it is very difficult. Without remaining without doing karma, very difficult. Even for people who have got some sattva guna. Then second is rajoguna. They will be doing various activities for getting something, making fun. So they will be having rajoguna based activities where they try to cut jokes, or they will try to get something. So for eating, they have to eat something. Some people all the time, machine has to be on. And tamoguna means they will harass somebody. They will prick. They will take some nail or some needle or something, prick. But something or the other will be happening. And therefore Bhagavan says, hey Arjuna, as an ignorant person, and especially when the purity of the mind is not there, you will be forced to act. And anyway you have to act. Why don't you act properly? It is something like anyway you have to eat. Why don't you eat properly? Eat at proper time. Instead of eating like every hour, you eat properly. You have breakfast, you have lunch, you have dinner, or you have 2 meals, whatever. Some people, they don't take meals regularly. They keep on eating. So there is no fixed time, fixed quantity. So Bhagavan says that instead of having the craze for sannyasa, Arjuna, anyway you have to act. So better act in such a way that it contributes to the pursuit of moksha. And thus Bhagavan here in this shloka gave one more reason. Why Arjuna karma marga is good? Because anyway a person who does not have knowledge can never be free from action. Anyway you are forced to act. Why are you going against that natural force? Because of gunas, you are forced to act. Better act properly. And that is how one more reason was given. So first reason given by Bhagavan is Karma Yoga is good for you because Karma Yoga is the means for moksha, and without means the end cannot be achieved. Second thing is mere sannyasa without this gnanam is not a guarantee for moksha. Third reason he is giving that karma is choiceless for people who do not have dhanam. And anyway karma is to be done. Your gunas will force you. Bhagavan is going to say in the 18th chapter that Arjuna, now what you don't want to do, you will do it after some time. In the 18th chapter, Bhagavan says, Swabhava Jaina Kaunteya Nibaddha Svena Karmana Kartum Nechasi Yanmohat Karishyasi Avashopi Saha Avashopi Tat. You will do it helplessly. So you will say, no, I don't want to fight. So you will run away and you will go to the forest. And in the forest, people will say that, see, Arjuna was very coward. He did not have any strength and therefore he ran away. Then you will fight with those people. Because you are a Kshatriya, you can't bear this insult. So people will taunt you, and since if anybody taunts, you will fight with them. And their fighting is useless because it doesn't serve any purpose. Whereas here, you are doing it for a cause. So as I told you that if you don't eat when it is to be eaten, then you will eat sometime when it is not to be eaten. You will eat something what is not to be eaten, you will eat when one is not supposed to eat. Better you eat when it is to be eaten. So Bhagavan says here that anyway karma is choiceless for the person who does not have Atmak Dhanam. Only by Atmak Dhanam you can be completely free from karmas. And therefore Arjuna, Karma Yoga is better. Now in the next shloka he tells that what type of situation can happen if a person runs away from the actions and takes sannyasa without preparedness. Karma Yoga prepares you to become a sannyasi. Without Karma Yoga, if a person gets sannyasa, it will be very dangerous for the person. How it leads to a spiritual fall, that is said in the next shloka. Karmendriyani sanyamya ya aste manasa smaran Indriyarthan vimudhatma Mithyacharasya uchyate. So in this shloka, Bhagavan is talking about a person who was not ready for sannyasa and he takes sannyasa. Why he takes sannyasa? Sometimes the situation he or she is facing is so overwhelming. So sometimes sannyasa is taken as an escape route. Say the person has taken a bank loan and his interest is going up and he is not able to repay the loan. He runs away to Rishikesh. Grows beard and all. So people will not identify. That is also done. Run away. Or wife or husband are too much. Every day fight, Swamiji. Every day fight. So person wants to run away. Sannyasa. Or sometimes person has got, when you join the spiritual pursuit, you will have fascination for sannyasis. Because see, you are working, so you have very little time for study. And this sannyasi has got all the time. You think so. So he has all time. And therefore he said, I want to become sannyasi. Whether you are ready or not, you want to become a sannyasi. And sometimes there is a fascination for sannyasa because you see sannyasi, some sannyasis are well respected. Wherever they go, first seat they are given, fruit is given, dakshina is given, people do namaskara. So you are missing that. So how this fellow, both of us were studying together. He became a sannyasi. How? See, I am earning some 30,000 rupees. Nobody respects me. And I have to work very hard. Whereas this for Swamiji, people are ready to do everything for him. For me, even if I shout, nobody brings water. So my son also doesn't bring. Whereas Swamiji, people are always ready. Swamiji, what can I bring? What can I bring? Very fascinating. This unknowingly it happens. I also will become sannyasi. Whether I am ready for sannyasa or not, person doesn't see. Sannyasa looks very, very attractive. And then he takes sannyasa. And such a person who is not ready for sannyasa and he or she takes sannyasa, what is happening to that person is described here to show the superiority of Karma Yoga lifestyle. If a person is ready for sannyasa and takes sannyasa, it is better than Karma Yoga. If person is not ready for sannyasa and he takes sannyasa, compared to that sannyasa by unprepared person, Karma Yoga is better. So Bhagavan is highlighting that point. That Karma Yoga is better than the sannyasa, unprepared sannyasa or immature sannyasa. Immature sannyasa means what? Sannyasa taken by immature person. So that is said here. What will be the situation of that person? Karmendriyani sanyamya. He has taken sannyasa and therefore he will be withdrawing from the activities. So karmendriyani sanyamya means having withdrawn the organs of action. Hands, legs, etc. he doesn't move. Means karmendriyani organs of actions are withdrawn. He doesn't do work. He doesn't go places. I will sit in one place. I will not do any activities. Karmendriyani sanyamya. But manasa smaran aste. He remains. Yaha, one who remains. Manasa smaran. Remembering the objects. Indriyarthan. Objects. Indriyarthan means objects, sense objects. The objects of the organs. Like what? Shabda. Nice music program is there. In that place, music program is there in the city, or nice dosa available in that place, he remembers. So earlier when he was not a sannyasi, he used to go every Sunday to particular restaurant, and every time he used to go to this program and that program. So now he is a sannyasi. Earlier he used to go every movie first Friday. Friday here movies release on Friday. Friday only, no? We see in North it was Friday. So Friday first show I have to see. So particular. So he was doing it. Now what? Manasa Smaranaste. He is remembering all of them. And he is remembering that how my children and grandchildren, they were coming to me and say, Tata, Tata, how it was sweet. Now I have come to Rishikesh. What to do? Indriyarthan Manasa Smaran. He cannot do certain activities because he has taken sannyasa. But mentally he is dwelling upon that. He is not doing activities, but he is dwelling upon the sense objects which are attained by doing the activities. And therefore, what happens? This person is Vimudhatma. Bhagavan calls him a person who is the mind, who is having the deluded mind. Vimudaha Atma Antakranam Yasya. So, a person who does not have clarity of the means and ends. He doesn't know the place of karma. He doesn't know when karma is to be renounced. Anything has got a starting time and stopping time. If you start at inappropriate time, then it will not work. If you stop it also at inappropriate time, it will not work. Like a cooker is to be started when? After putting on the gas, after putting water inside, then only you should start. Just if you start without putting water inside, then it will be burnt or something will happen. And if you stop it before, when it requires 3 whistles and you give only 1 whistle, it will remain uncooked. So everything has got a starting time. Class has got a starting time. Class has got an end time. So I start generally when it is to be started. And I stop generally when it is to be stopped. You imagine today I came early and I start 11:15 suppose. It's not proper. And I stop early, no problem. People will be happy. But sometimes it's good, Swami, 15 minutes ka relief de diya. But if I continue, not proper. See, everything has got time. So similarly, karma has got time when it is to be, in which stage of our life it is to be started and in which stage of our life it is to be concluded, there is a time. This person does not have clarity about that. He is so anxious about renouncing karma and getting this Gnana-nishtha, etc., that he has dropped karma. And because of that, what is happening? He has not outgrown the likes and dislikes for the sense objects. But now he cannot do the activities for getting those sense objects. Therefore, what will happen? Mithyacharasya uchyate. That person is called mithyachara, hypocrite. Means there will be hypocrisy. He has value for sense objects, but he cannot openly go and get those sense objects. So what will he do? He will try to do something secretly or will try to suppress. He will tell himself, I should not be thinking about this, I should not be thinking about this, I should not be thinking. He will slap himself also sometimes. And he will hit his head on the table or something. This will happen. When a person is not ready for sannyasa and he takes sannyasa, his life will be very, very miserable. Why? Because sannyasa life, you have a lot of time and you don't know what to do with your time. Then it becomes a big burden. And you know what will happen? That person will be in search of someone to talk with. All the time sitting outside. And sometimes he will be giving teaching to someone who is not interested. Person is a sweeper, he is sweeping. And to this sweeper also he will go and teach. Do you know Atma? You should study Vedanta. What is this? And he will be missing the sense objects and he cannot do the actions for getting those objects. Therefore, his life will be the life of suppression. And anything cannot be suppressed for long time. Therefore, it will explode in a very inappropriate manner. As a grahastha, he can enjoy certain bhogas, and now as a sannyasi he cannot, and therefore lot of hypocrisy, lot of the wrong these ways of attaining bhogas will happen. And therefore Bhagavan says such a person is mithyacharaha, hypocrite. In Bhagavan Bhashyakara says papacharaha. Certain bhogas which are to be done, which are allowed in certain ashramas, not permitted, and then still person has the value for it, he will go for it. Finally he will try, first he will try to suppress, and then it will explode sometimes. And therefore Bhagavan said it is not a safe path. If a person is not ready for sannyasa and he goes for sannyasa, it is miserable. And what is happening to this person? Since he has withdrawn from the activities, he is deprived of the benefit of activities. And he is not ready for sannyasa, so he is not benefited by sannyasa also. Ubhaya brashtaha. He is not benefited of karma yoga because he has withdrawn the activities. He is not benefited by the life of sannyasa because he is not ready for it. And therefore what happens? Ubhaya brashta. He is worse than that person who is in karma because he is not getting benefit of this purification which can happen in karma yoga. And therefore Bhagavan says, Arjuna, it is not a safe path. Therefore generally I say this, if you have doubt whether to go for karma or go for sannyasa, go for karma. Whether Swami, should I get married or I should take sannyasa? You get married. When you don't have a choice, in your mind there is no choice. Whether should I take sannyasa or not? There is no choice. And also not only you think you are fit for sannyasa, you are not interested in grihastha ashrama, even your guides like guru or some guide also confirms that. Then only sannyasa should be taken. Otherwise, it is normal route we follow. Normal route is a safe route. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say that it is remaining grihastha ashrama is something like remaining inside the fort and fighting. You are safe. Grihastha ashrama is like a fort. Sannyasa is ashrama is like a coming in open ground and fighting. So you are little more vulnerable. And if you are able to handle the vulnerability, then great. But if it is not there, better to play safe. Safety is better than the fast progress. Some people say, Swamiji, I take sannyasa, fast progress will happen. But safety is to be taken care of. Safety is more important than so-called fast progress. In the name of fast progress, you should not compromise with the safety. And therefore Bhagavan says, Arjuna, you see the life of unprepared sannyasi is worse than a person who is doing karma. Therefore, you go for karma. And now in the next shloka, he is giving the comparison that compared to that person who is immaturely taking sannyasa, how this other person who is following the life of karma yoga is better. And thus Bhagavan is giving his conclusion that Arjuna, it is better to lead a life of karma yoga, and that type of person is better than the person who has taken sannyasa immaturely. Yastvindriyani manasa niyamya rabhaterjuna karmendriyaih karma yogam asaktasya vishishyate. So after talking about what is not to be done, eschewed, now Bhagavan says what is to be done. That is the right way of teaching. Some people are always telling, you should not do this, you should not do this, you should not do this. When what is to be done, you tell. Like some doctor will say, Vaidya, doctor, allopathy doctor will not say. He say, you should not eat this, you should not eat this, you should not. The patient will say, then what to eat? Tell me. So similarly, Bhagavan, first he talked about that what is not good for a sadhaka. Running away from responsibility, taking immature sannyasa is not good for sadhaka. Then what is the right thing for a sadhaka? That is said here. Yaha tu means on the other hand. To show the difference from the previous person. Previous person is what? He is restraining his karmendriyas, but mentally he is dwelling upon the objects. Compared to that person, Indriyani manasa niyamya. Indriyani means dhanendriyani. So organs of knowledge, organs of perception, not knowledge, organs of perception, they are used, but they are used following the norms. So having mastered the organs of perception means I perceive things, I see things, I hear things, I touch things, I taste things, I smell, I experience smell. All these are okay. But following the norms, remaining within the bounds of dharma. Our Shastra says when you are in Grihasthashrama, Pravritti Dharma, you are allowed to do bhoga, but following the norms, following the dharma. So two things generally with reference to bhoga it is said. One is it should be within the bounds of dharma, and second thing is there should be moderation. You eat. If you like tasty food, you eat. But every day you eat only that sweet which you like, which is not good for you. So, Indriyani Sanyamya means using the organs of perception following dharma. And how this mastery over the organs is to be attained? Manasa. Viveka yuktena manasa. By the mind which is endowed with the sense of the appropriateness. In life, this viveka should guide my life. Generally, our life is guided by, is dictated by this our instincts. And that is what people consider freedom. What is freedom? I do what I like. That is not freedom. I do what is to be done. And I do not do what is not to be done. That is my freedom. I can say no to something which is inappropriate for me. That is my freedom. If somebody offers me something which is not good for me and I can say no, that is my freedom. Not that Swamiji, I feel like eating, I eat. I feel like smoking, I smoke. I feel like drinking, I drink. I am a free person. That is not real freedom. You are the slave to your sense organs. You are slave to your instincts. You think you are free. That is not real freedom. Your real freedom is to do what is to be done and avoid what is not to be done. That is real freedom. And this person, he is using that freedom, using his discretion properly. Mastery over the organs does not mean we stop using the organs. We use, but we use appropriately. It is like your freedom of driving doesn't mean that you drive the way you want. Sometimes you want right, sometimes left, and you are like crisscrossing, Then it is not your freedom. It is dangerous for you and the people around. So here, Manasa Indriyani Niyamya. By Viveka, mastering the organs. And Karma Yogam Karmendrehi Arabate. He starts, he does the Karma Yogam, the sadhana of Karma Yoga with the Karmendriyas. So Karmendriyas are active and Dhanendriyas are mastered, not suppressed, mastered. And such a person, how does he do karma? Asaktaha. Without getting obsessed with a particular activity or without getting obsessed with a particular result. Being free from karma sakti and phala sakti, he does karma. And Bhagavan says, Saha Vishishyate. That person is much greater than the person who was described in the previous shloka. Previous shloka person, he is suppressing his karmendriyas, means not doing action, but mentally dwelling on the objects. Whereas this person, karmendriyas are active, but jnanendriyas are mastered, not suppressed, mastered by the viveka yukta manaha. And such a person who is a karma yogi is vishishyate. He is leading a healthy life. In life, this remaining healthy, not physically only, mentally also, intellectually also, spiritually also. So physical health, mental health, this intellectual health, spiritual health, that is growth. Maintaining all these four types of health and growing, that is called growth in life, and that is the purpose of life. People ask this question, what is the purpose of life? Purpose of life is to grow, leading to the discovery of your fullness. That is the purpose of life. And that this person is following. He is following the life of purpose. He is leading the life of purpose. And such a person is Vishishyate. He is better than the previous one. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.